Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into something maybe a bit unexpected, but really fascinating, a deep look into the world of fish keeping.
Yes, specifically through someone's personal notes.
Exactly. We've got this blog post. It's called Notes on Fish Keeping, Part 122. And the title is really something. Silver Mono, an unsuitable angelfish exploration. It's by someone named Ang.
Hmm.
So we're basically going to follow Aang's thought process here, their journey of discovering a fish and, well, pretty quickly deciding against it.
Right, the decision-making part is key.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The whole setup is pretty interesting, isn't it?
Definitely.
You've got someone checking out a new fish, but that title, Unsuitable Angelfish Exploration, kind of gives the game away.
It does. Makes you lean in a bit.
It really makes you wonder why. Why would this fish, which sounds like maybe it's related to an angelfish, be unsuitable, especially if it caught Aang's eye enough to write about it?
And how did Aang get to that no so fast?
Yeah.
That's what I find really compelling. What can we all sort of learn from that quick but clearly thought out decision?
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about the fish themselves.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Our mission here really is to look at how Aang made this call. It's like a little case study in making swift, informed choices.
Right.
Aang's very specific aquatic query, it actually gives us a great template for assessing anything new, applying what we've learned the hard way.
Hmm.
And maybe most importantly, how to say, nope, not for me, even when something looks really cool at first glance.
Okay, so it's a fish story, but it's also kind of a life lesson hiding in a fish tank.
You could say that, yeah, a universal principle shown through a specific example.
So let's get into the specifics. Aang was apparently out getting guppies, right? Calls them aquatic gardeners in the post, which I kind of like,
Hey, yeah, for outdoor ponds.
for outdoor ponds. And that's when they spot this different fish, something they initially thought might be an angelfish type.
Monodactylus Argenteus, the silver moony, or silver mono.
But here's a twist: the store had it labeled wrong. It said sea mono.
Right, which immediately screams saltwater to anyone who keeps fish.
Yeah. But Aang was smart, used Google Lens on their phone, technology, and boom, correct ID. Silver mono, not a sea fish necessarily.
Yeah, and Egg describes them, pretty accurately. They look a lot like angelfish, that silver color, really flat, disc-shaped body.
Okay.
They also mention the fins, yellowish dorsal and anal fins, and these sort of faint dark stripes down the body. Very distinctive look.
Sounds quite striking.
Oh, they are. But, for anyone who's been in the hobby a while, seeing Monodactylus Argenteus, you immediately think, okay, brackish water.
Right. Isn't that usually the case?
Often, yeah. Or they get quite large. Now, sometimes you can acclimate younger ones to fresh water, but it's tricky. It's definitely a consideration.
So it looks cool. Aang figures out what it really is despite the bad label. You'd think maybe they'd be tempted.
You would. That visual appeal is strong.
But Aang asked themselves the direct question in the post. Should we explore this fish species? And the answer, flat out, not really.
Bam. Just like that.
Yeah, so fast. What do you think drove that immediate no? It seems almost abrupt given how cool the fish sounds.
Well, I think that not really is where the real insight is. It shows Aang didn't just get caught up in the, ooh, shiny new fish moment.
Okay.
They immediately filtered it through their own hard-won experience. And there were two big reasons that jumped out from the post.
What were they?
First, Aang thought back to their experiences with actual angelfish, Pterophyllum scalar.
Okay, the common ones.
Right. And Aang notes, and many keepers would agree, that angelfish can be, well, delicate. They're sensitive. Water parameters, pH swings, hardness, they don't always handle fluctuations well.
Ah, so past trauma, basically, or at least past lessons learned.
Exactly. Hard-won knowledge. So even though this silver mono is a different fish, Aang saw a similar body type, maybe perceived similar care needs, and immediately recalled the challenges associated with delicate. The beauty didn't erase the memory of potential fragility.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Applying lessons from one species to a potentially similar one. What was the second reason?
The second one was super practical, tied directly to Aang's own setup.
Ah, the environment.
Yes, Aang says quite clearly, the silver mono is definitely not suitable for an outdoor environment, especially when viewed from above.
Right, because that's where the guppies were going, the outdoor ponds.
Precisely. So it doesn't matter how cool the fish looks if the place you have for it just isn't right. That specific environmental constraint, it just trumped everything else.
That shows real discipline, I think. Understanding the fish's needs versus what you can actually provide. That's where impulse buys often go wrong, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a classic fish keeping pitfall.
So recapping Aang's little adventure here. They spot this fish, the silver mono, figure out what it really is, even though it was mislabeled,
Mm-hmm.
and then pretty much instantly decide, nope. And the reasons were solid. Thinking back to how sensitive angelfish can be, and knowing this specific fish wouldn't work outdoors or look good viewed from the top down in a pond.
That's the core of it. A swift, reasoned rejection.
So if we step back from the fish tank for a second,
Yeah, let's connect this to the bigger picture.
what's the takeaway here?
Well, I think Aang's story really highlights how important it is to not just, spot something new and interesting, but to really evaluate it. Does it actually fit with what you already have going on, with what you've learned before?
Where's that critical assessment step?
Exactly. Asking yourself, okay, this is cool, but does it really fit here?
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're initially really drawn to it,
Mm-hmm.
there's a real wisdom, I think, in knowing not just what excites you, but what's genuinely compatible, and having the discipline to sometimes just walk away.
Yeah, that discipline piece is huge.
Hmm.
So, thinking about this for you, the listener, Aang's process here, right, that sequence. See something new, identify it properly, critically check it against your experience and your current situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pattern you can use pretty much anywhere, isn't it? Evaluating a new project at work, a new piece of tech, maybe even a new relationship dynamic. It's about building that internal filter.
It really is. And it makes you think, doesn't it? It raises this important question.
What's that?
How often do we maybe let that initial buzz, that fascination with something new, just completely steamroll the practical side of things? Or, ignore the lessons we already learned, sometimes the hard way. What could we actually gain if we just paused for a second and really dug into the why not before we jump straight to the why?